Hello, and welcome to A Word of Hope. I'm Father Tom Lynch, speaking to you from the altar of St. Pius V Church, where we celebrate our Sunday Mass. We hear from the Prophet Amos, God saying, I hate, I spurn your feasts, I take no pleasure in your solemnities. Away with your noisy songs, I will not listen to the melodies of your harps. You know, Amos, the prophet, stands apart from all of the other prophets in the Old Testament. He was what we might call a country bumpkin, a man with no education, kind of from the outside, from the lower class. He was a shepherd, and he was a dresser. He was a tree farmer, and yet he was called by God to go to preach a message to the powerful and the religious authorities of his time, preaching God's message, God's unhappiness with them. He was sent to the northern part of Israel, to the shrine of Bethel, which was the most important place of worship for the people of the northern kingdom at that time, which had become corrupt. And the people were not listening to the words of the poor. They were more concerned about the pomp and the circumstance of their religious ceremonies, which, as we hear, God was not pleased with. So he came and preached that word of change, that they would if they were to seek justice, that they were to listen to the cries of the poor, then God would listen to them, and that their worship would then become pleasing to him, and their sacrifices would once more be listened by God. Our Catholic tradition, too, is very liturgical and ceremonial, with elements of prayers and music, movement, and environment, all directed towards an encounter with God. So that we learn from the prophet Amos that worship is always meant to have God as its center and have God as its goal. And that may our worship change us so that we become people who do justice and reach out to those that are poor and disenfranchised, who cry out to God for help. And then I think the words of Amos the prophet, justice and blessing, will flow from our worship as a life-giving spring where all are satisfied.